capture of Jemima Boone, Fanny, and Betsy Calloway. Jemima was 14, Betsy was 16, Fanny was 14. And Indians that had captured her, these girls from Boonesboro, they had been out on a little excursion in a canoe Sunday afternoon. They'd been reading the Bible and that sort of thing. So Jemima had had a cane uh, wound in her foot, and she was putting her foot in the water. And somehow they got down below Boonesboro. Well, Hanging Maw Cherokee, he was with another Cherokee, and there was three Shawnees that was with them. And when their canoe was pulled by the current close to the bank, they grabbed the canoe, abducted the girls. They went from Boonesboro. This was on Sunday afternoon, July the 14th, 1776. Boonesboro had been built the year before in 1775. So they abducted the girls. The first night or first day they went to as far as Winchester. And then they were following buffalo trails, Indian trails, making their way to the upper Blue Licks. Now Boone had sent Richard Calloway, the father of the two girls, the daughters, he sent them to the lower Blue Licks because trying to cut them off. They didn't know which trail they were traveling. Finally, they picked up a trail, and Boone and the party that was with him was tracking the Indians, and the girls were mashing down plants and taking little pieces of clothing and laying a trail. They ran into they found a pony, and they tried to get the girls to ride the pony, and they acted like they didn't know how to ride the pony, but in reality they were experts. And so they came here to Hingston's Creek. They crossed it, and somewhere between Bald Eagle Creek and Hingston's Creek, they shot a buffalo, took part of the buffalo hump out, and Boone and them was really close to them by that time. So, Tandy, you might be able to help me with this. I don't know if it was the next.
No, it was when they the buffalo hump. They were cooking it, and
But was that early in the morning?
it was. I just know that it was a meal. That the
It was a
girls
meal.
hadn't eaten for like 2 days.
Yeah.
They were offered buffalo tongue,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't eat that.
Yeah.
But then they got this hump, and there was a sentinel at where they were cooking, and the others were. One was asleep, and the others were somewhere around close. But
They said Hanging Maw had gone to the creek to get water.
Oh, okay.
So, we're along Bald Eagle Creek, and this is Hingston's Creek. So it had to have happened somewhere in here.
Yeah.
And they said that when they camped, when the Indians were at camp, they came down on them from a higher place. But this was all covered with cane at one time. This was, very few trees and mostly cane. But anyway,
the girls jumped up.
One of the guys prematurely shot, but they killed two Shawnee, and I think the Cherokee got away. But one of the girls jumped up, and they were going to club the girl because she looked like she was an Indian. She was wearing, and Boone says, "My God, don't kill her because we've come so far to rescue her."
And the guy wept because he was.
So they were all happy, cheerful, and they all sat down and had a big cry.
Yeah.
Really?
Samuel Henderson. Apparently, when they told everybody that it was time to, we got to go find these girls and everything, everybody rushed out of Boonesboro, and he'd only shaven half of his face. So they gave him a hard time, and he's the one that married Betsy.
Here's the rest of the story. When Boone and a party of salt makers were captured at Blue Licks, they were taken to Chillicothe, and Chief Blackfish adopted Daniel Boone.
That was
Blackfish didn't know at the time that Boone had killed his daughter here. Killed his son here.
Oh.
But when they had the big siege, somehow Blackfish had found out and brought it up. So.
When they did the siege of Boonesboro.
Right.
Okay.
But during Boone kills his son, they adopted Boone as, and the Shawnee had this thing whereas when you're adopted, you actually become the person that you're being replaced in every way. But it didn't work with Boone. He eventually,
escaped.
got out.
Made his way back.